Hi everyone, this is Ramalinga Prasad Kuppa. Welcome to my channel, Pharma World. Today's topic is identification tests as per USP, EP and IP. Let us understand the intent of section 5.40 of USP. It prescribes a compendial test titled Identity or Identification is provided as an aid in verifying the identity of articles as they are purported to be. Example, those taken from labeled containers and to establish whether it is the article named in USP NF. The identity or identification test for a particular article may consist of one or more procedures. When a compendial test for identity or identification is undertaken, all requirements of all specified procedures in the test must be met to satisfy the requirements of the test. Failure of an article to meet all the requirements of a prescribed identity or identification test, that is, failure to meet the requirements of all of the specified procedures that are components of the test, indicates that the article is mislabeled and or adulterated. The intent of this section is to provide to identify whether or not the compendial article is as claimed as per the label. It is unambiguous, clear thumb impression of the article. This is a specific characteristic for a particular compendial article. So, before initiating the complete evaluation of the article, it is necessary to confirm the identity of the article. If you notice in the compendia, the first test of any article would be the identification test only. There may be more than one identification test. Like a person is identified by the left hand thumb impression as the first identification. The iris in the eye may be considered as second identification to confirm the total identification of the person. So, it is important that there may be necessity for more than one identification test. So obviously non-compliance to any of these tests leads to suspicion on the identity of the article. It fails to meet the basic requirement. As per the guideline, it is considered as mislabeled and or adulterated. Let us see what the European Pharmacopoeia general notices for identification prescribe. It says the tests given in the identification section are not designed to give full confirmation of the chemical structure of or the composition of the product. They are intended to give confirmation with an acceptable degree of assurance that the article conforms to the description on the label. It says that the identification test is not designed to give full identification of the article. It provides a basic clue about the identity of the article. But there is a catch statement with an acceptable degree of assurance. Though the complete picture of the article is not known, it should lead to a firm conclusion on the identity of the article. The first and second identifications. Certain monographs have subdivisions entitled first identification and second identification. The tests or tests that constitute the first identification may be used in all circumstances. Here comes the requirements for first identification and second identification tests. EP prescribes that in all cases, the first identification should be conducted on the article. So, if the article has several identification tests classified as first identification and second identification, it is necessary to carry out the first identification test always. Let us understand more on this. The test or tests that constitute the second identification may be used in pharmacies provided it can be demonstrated that the substance or preparation is fully traceable to a batch certified to comply with all other requirements of the monograph. So, there is a provision for carrying out the second identification test. When you can do? When demonstrated that the substance is fully traceable to a batch certified to comply with all other requirements of the monograph. That means if there is a system in place with all inputs at every stage and appropriate outputs, the genealogy of all the batches maintained and confirm that all operations are carried out under GMP conditions. In such cases, the second identification test may also be used. Certain monographs give two or more sets of tests for the purpose of first identification which are equivalent, may be used independently. So, when there are two similar tests for first identification leading to the same result or conclusion, one of the tests may be used as an alternative. One or more of these sets usually contain a cross-reference to a test prescribed in the test section of the monograph. It may be used to simplify the work of the analyst carrying out the identification and the prescribed test. So generally there will be a cross-reference to another specific test which gives the same conclusion or result. For example, one identification set cross-refers to a test for enantiomer purity, while the other set gives for specific optical rotation. The intended purpose of these two is the same, that is the verification that the correct enantiomer is present. See this example. The identification test may say enantiomer purity, and there may be a specific test in the monograph like specific optical rotation. The output is same, so the intent is same. Another example could read as the retention time of the major peak of the sample solution should correspond to that of the retention time of standard solution as obtained in assay. We come across in several HPLC tests to confirm the retention time of the main peak of the sample should match with that of the standard peak in the assay test. You can notice such tests in many HPLC tests. Let us see how the requirement in Indian Pharmacopoeia compares with US Pharmacopoeia or European Pharmacopoeia. Under General Notices section, Indian Pharmacopoeia prescribes, they provide a means of verifying that the identity of the material under examination is in accordance with the label on the container. The intent of the Indian Pharmacopoeia is similar to the other pharmacopoeial requirements. Also, in certain monographs, alternative series of identification tests are given. Compliance with either one or the other set of tests is adequate to verify the identity of the article. Here there is a flexibility in the Indian Pharmacopoeia. Compliance to either of the set of tests is acceptable for verification of identity of the article when compared to other pharmacopoeias. I hope that you understood the intent of the identification test as per the various compendia. Try to incorporate into your system or SOP these salient points clearly. Thank you. Thanks for watching. For more videos, please do subscribe, like and share. Thank you.